You ready?
Just don't let me fall down.
Never.
I, Edward Cullen, take you, Bella Swan,
For better or for worse.
to love.
To cherish. As long as we both shall live.
This is how I'll remember you. Pink cheeks, heartbeat. I think I'd be used to telling you goodbye by now.
Boy, somebody better talk to Edward and Jacob and tell them a woman will fuck a monster up. They need to talk to Frankenstein. They need to talk to King Kong. You need to talk to even the Hunchback and Blackula. I'm sure Godzilla went crazy because a bitch pissed him off. That's why he's wrecking the city. You know?
Man, I don't care who they talk to. They just need to talk. Because nobody in this movie talks. They pout. They look sullen a lot. And yet, actual dialogue, it's just not there.
And you're complaining about that?
This is more in common with the first movie than anything else, in the sense that, yeah, there's so much of it that's just people reacting by not actually saying anything. They just kind of go, look at each other and look sullen, or Cullen, as the case may be.
The sullen Cullen.
Hey, but at the very least, everyone always says that Kristen Stewart always looks like she's about to throw up. Should we actually get to see her finally throw up in this movie? I felt like a real sense of relief.
I really, let's be fair. They do have dialogue, and it's usually.
Well, I thought
it's usually the man doing it.
I thought it was a screenwriter just going, I can't make this shit sound good. How about we just show pictures on the screen? All right. And let's do that for the first hour until somebody was like, we can't do that. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that, like, this is originally one book that they stretched into 2 movies, which people were like, yeah, Harry Potter did it. It was like, yeah, but Harry Potter made it work to 2 movies. There was enough material here. It is, and I timed it carefully, an hour and 15 minutes until anything happens in this film at all.
It's funny because you bring that up because the last Harry Potter book was so big, you had to break it into 2 movies. So you watched it too, you see that. It's like, look, if we had crammed this into 1 movie, it would have just been too goddamn long.
It would have been insane.
But here, it's very clear that somebody wrote a script for 1 movie. And somebody else said, look, I know we're ready to go, but look what Harry Potter did.
Well,
we got to make 2 movies.
It's like, this is like the longest marriage or wedding ever. I've been Catholic weddings that are not as long as the wedding in this fucking movie.
They did that. You saying, well, if they put Harry Potter together in 1 movie, it would have been too goddamn long. They said, well, if we split these 2 movies up, we'll make too much goddamn money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that's all they did it for. I mean, because it doesn't need to be. It could have been a 3-hour film. I mean, now granted, they probably did it because they'd be like, well, guys gonna be like, there's no way in hell we're taking our girlfriends, our daughters to see this, our wives, because I'm not sitting through 3 hours of Twilight. So it's probably a good decision to do that. But it still doesn't hide the fact that there's not a whole lot going on in 1 movie where I'm sure you were counting time by minutes. I was counting time by how many songs they played on the soundtrack back to back. It was 4.
Oh yeah, no, this movie was plagued with that. But the thing is, sitting through that wedding, it sucks. If you're into the book, the girls were fucking loving it. I mean, we were all there. We heard all the cheers and hurrahs and everything. All I thought was like, man, I'm at a shitty wedding I didn't want to go to in the first place, and I'm not ever going to get to eat. Yeah. So, it's like, God damn it.
Look, it was the most boring wedding ever, too. You expect if anything, at least in this universe, where everybody's like, there's all this like, Jacob and Edward, which one of them's going to get him? And Jacob's going to be pissed off. And then it's all really very civil and nothing out untoward happens. There's like the only thing at all, there's like a mild foreshadowing of something that I guess is going to happen in the next movie.
Yeah, didn't anybody watch the goddamn Kim Kardashian wedding? I mean, that was more action-packed than this entire movie. Come on.
True.
Come on now.
It's probably the only marriage that was shorter than this one.
Yeah.
I think this was longer than that marriage. I felt like it at least.
It felt like,
but you have to really be into these characters to appreciate this film already. There's no way you could come in as someone who isn't in love with Edward and Bella and do anything but like want to claw your own eyeballs out or chew your own arm off to get out of the theater.
This whole wedding was like a soap opera wedding. And I don't mean like, you think of a soap opera wedding, you think of like a lot of dramatics and histrionics. I don't mean that way.
No.
I mean in the way it was staged cheaply, where they drag out a story like over the course of the week that could have just taken a half of 1 episode. And by the end, it's like, wow, this is just staged in such an amateur way, and what's shot and what goes on. It's like, guys, you got to do something.
They
Give
know
us
that.
something.
You know what they're saying? Yeah, we got to do something. We got to make some money. We shooting this shit.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is all for money, and I'm surprised they didn't split the shit up into 3 movies, or a whole nother a whole nother series of movies. I mean, which they're gonna do. They have to. I mean, how can you not? You're like, oh fuck, there's only one more book. God damn it, we got to do something. Please, somebody write some kind of bullshit, please.
And we're talking about these characters. It's like if you haven't kept up with it, and people are like, okay, well, what's the big deal now? Everybody's talking about this. This is an important movie in this Twilight saga series.
And
well,
keep in mind, this is probably going to be a spoiler-heavy review here because these books have long been out. We've already talked about all the elements of the plot pretty much all the way through this movie in our preview.
yeah,
So,
people have already put all that shit out
so
there.
if you're like, I don't want to know what happens, then tune out now.
and if you're saying that, then you were fucking dumb.
Because nothing happens.
Hey, well, if you don't know, ask an 11-year-old.
Yeah, nothing happens till the last 15 minutes. So
Ask an
yeah,
11-year-old chick, not because an 11-year-old boy. But what the fuck you asking me for? I'm watching Transformers, bitch. But Edward and Bella they finally done it. They've got what they've always wanted. They got married, and after all these years moping around and crying and shit, they should be happy, right? I mean.
Think
it's like 3 movies. They finally got their wanted, touching each other and shit. But
figure around the moping and crying part.
yeah, but
These are 2 people who ain't happy unless they ain't happy.
unless they ain't happy, yeah. But as we come to know, like you're saying, nothing is ever that simple with them. For one thing, Bella, after her first night of having sex with Edward, she gets pregnant, and this thing is about to pull an alien and just pop right out of her stomach because it's growing at a quick rate.
Yeah, because they're not supposed to be able to he didn't use a condom. He's a fucking vampire. It's one of the advantages you'd think at the very least is you ain't gonna get anybody pregnant. And then he's like, what?
Even though Jacob does show up at his wedding to warn him, like, the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Vampires out there, if you listening, if you about to have sex with a human chick, you ain't got to worry about AIDS or anything like that. You just have to worry about that chick exploding.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, I don't know. That sounds almost like a good thing. He's like, wash my hands.
Well, you know,
but you still end up with the baby.
You know what? Leon just ended up on a watch list somewhere.
well, you know what? If Bella spent more time in school instead of running around with a goddamn vampire and a werewolf in the woods, she could have taken that one class about sex ed where they teach you to use a goddamn condom when you're fucking. I mean, everyone,
with vampires.
a condom a day will keep the vampire babies away. I mean, come on.
Co-host, I go you one better. Okay, yeah, Bella's a complete idiot for dropping out of school to get married to a vampire at 18 years old. Whatever. But at the point where the baby is growing inside her, how is it that the other vampires have no clue as to what's going on, especially with one being a doctor?
Well, I don't think they've ever had sex with a human.
Yeah,
That was forbidden.
They're saying it's a miracle baby.
Yeah,
like,
it's something like that.
no one vampires ever gotten anyone pregnant.
Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Anyway, the other thing is that Jacob's Wolf Clan, they just kind of like, wait a minute, we don't know what the fuck that is.
That was so weird. That's like talk about manufactured.
Well, it's
conflict.
Yeah.
Because before the whole rest of the clan is like, Jacob, you need to calm down, okay? Like Edward's got her already. It's all just be cool. Why are you being a
Yeah,
dick?
we're all right with it.
And then they reach the point in the movie. They're like, do you realize there's been absolutely no conflict in this movie for an hour?
Well, they're upset because they're kind of like, hey, whatever's in this, whatever's in that girl's vagina, we smell evil.
They just go, we don't know what
that's
it
something
is.
Master Gill can't take care of. So they say we got to kill that because that thing's gonna be a killer. It's gonna kill us and it's gonna apparently destroy the world if it comes out.
Sam's lost the element of surprise, and he doesn't want to take you on outnumbered. So he's not going to come at you head on. He's got the place surrounded, and he'll wait for his opportunity.
We won't get through without a fight.
No fights. We won't be the ones to break the treaty.
The treaty is void, at least in Sam's mind.
Not in ours.
Carlisle, no one's hunted for weeks.
We'll make do.
You've done us a great service, Jacob. Thank you.
And finally, the other thing that's wrong with the marriage is that they just can't stop fucking crying, man. I mean, Bella. First of all, let me just tell you right now, I feel betrayed because because I was the first one when the first movie came out. I stood up for Edward. I said Edward, man, I know you dig on this girl. Girls love this kind of romance stuff. I'm gonna I'm gonna help y'all out and stick by y'all. And as these movies go on and on, Kristen Stewart, I think she's proved herself an actress in other movies where I hate this character even more. She is the most boring person. Why anybody would want to fall in love with this girl, much less die for her, I don't understand. But there's one part in this movie where after that first night of having sex, I mean, Edward fucks up the bedroom. You know, he destroys the bed frame and knocks out windows and all kinds of shit.
I thought he was a vampire, not a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, he's really fucking. He's like,
Jesus.
Now, to be fair, they aren't graphic about it. They cut away. They show him break.
But they
break the
cut
bed.
back and the bedroom's destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed.
But anyway,
for all we know, he got frustrated because he couldn't bust a nut, and after she fell asleep, he just busted the room.
Well, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Because the only time that Bella ever showed any kind of emotion is when she looks on her body and she's got bruises, and Edward looks at him and he's like, oh, and she's like, no, wait a minute, that's rough. I like it rough. Yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting down to the good shit.
I looked at that whole thing and falling back into that whole allegories of like abusive relationships from earlier. How can you not see that where she's got bruises on her and he's like, honey, I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
No,
it's
he
my
didn't
fault.
like.
And she's like, no, honey, it's okay. It's like one of those, oh, yeah, he hits me sometimes, but I know that he really loves me.
No, I didn't even see it like that. I saw it like she was like, hey, goddamn, I like this. Now that everything's getting exciting, I was like, oh, I feel like they're real people now. And Edward has to turn around and be like, oh, I hurt you. I can never have sex with you again. I'm like, well, somebody quit fucking crying. Y'all can't talk. Y'all can't fuck. Y'all can't even play chess without like being boring.
I was waiting for somebody.
These motherfuckers,
I was waiting for Bella to fucking finally say it. Edward, will you quit being a fucking pussy and be a man already? We're married. I need to tell everyone that you are my fucking man. All right?
Fucking throw me against the wall, guy. I love it. He's like, I can't do it. Stop. And he just runs out there. I'm like, man, God damn, the man in this movie is sad.
But you're right, though. I mean, it seems like, I've seen Kristen Swanson do better, somewhat better.
Swanson?
I mean, what's her fucking name? Kristen Bell? Kristen Bell. There you go. No. Shut up, Leon, you asshole. Motherfucker over there.
Come on. One more try.
Yeah. Anyway, Kristen Bell, right?
Stewart.
What his name?
Stewart,
Fuck
yes.
you up like a motherfucker. It's Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart. Oh.
I feel like playing the Jeopardy theme whenever you want to say these names.
I know. I can't wait till you guys fuck up again. Sorry. Kristen, who gives a shit, all right? The girl who played fucking Bella. God damn.
Yeah, stick with Bella, man.
You Your old man mind is fucking contaminating me over here.
Don't deflect it back to me.
No, it is you. No.
Glitchy.
Leave me alone.
McGee.
Look, leave me alone, all right?
I mean, like Max Henry.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Swanson.
Kristen Stewart? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I never fucking mind. You don't deserve to hear what I got to say about this. All right?
Yeah, what's the name?
You sit over
Swanson
there.
TV
You sit over there. You shut up. You go to bed, old man.
Go ahead, sir.
I didn't even say that.
That's right. I'm still looking at you. You're in my line of sight. I'm sorry. You're my target. I'm sorry. But no, it seems like her and even the Taylor fucking Llama dude is every time they're in these films, it's like they get worse. And the same Taylor Lautner, it's like he's progressively getting worse with these films where I'm like, okay, he's at least trying to work with something with the material they're giving him. And then when, like with this movie especially, I was like, wow, this guy now, he officially cannot act. He is not a good actor at all.
The only thing he's working is out. Okay, then that's clear because someone said, just take your shirt off. You know, we don't really care what you have to say. And obviously, every time he did in the movie, the whole theater went, woo!
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I am so these days getting put in a position to defend somebody I don't want to defend. But I felt like in his case, with everybody's case, I noticed it across the board. There's a Star Wars prequel thing going on where the dialogue and the directing is so bad that nobody comes off looking good.
No, very true.
And his dialogue is especially horrible. I know it's like out of everybody, he got the worst of it. The one place where he did shine, I thought, was times when he had to show expressions. Because there were times when they were saying something, like when she was telling like the name of her new baby, everybody's like, "That's great, Bella. I like it." At least he had an expression like, "What the fuck?" I mean, he had me laughing. And this movie, it's full of unintentional laughs. I honestly laughed at this movie way more than I did at Tower Heist. One of the things I laughed at the loudest was when, there's a point when the baby is sucking all the nutrients out of Bella, and she's turning into a concentration camp corpse.
Which CG hallowed.
Which I thought was the best effect in the whole movie. I was like, damn, they did a great job.
They brought Tim Burton in to do that part.
Yeah, they did. And Edwards was like, man, we were supposed to be together forever. Now look at this. He's like, well, you'll always have a piece of me. You have the baby. And he's almost like, I don't want to raise a fucking baby. Look, I only had sex twice. I don't want to be a dad. This is bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's funny too, man. You were talking about the director. We mentioned this in our preview when we were talking about it. The director's Bill Condon, the guy that did Dreamgirls. No, he did Kinsey and all that. But anyway, it's like no matter what director they get, every goddamn movie looks the same. I think they just get the janitor directing because
might
he's
well
cheap.
save money.
Yeah, and they just put a different name on there. They pay somebody like $50 to use that name because every one of these movies is. No director is able to put any kind of significant vision or signature look to it at all. All of them look the same.
Yeah, I think they're told not to, or they're going to piss a lot of teenage girls off. I guess
They're told, don't get out of bed. We got the janitor behind the camera. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right.
What this series needs is its own Alfonso Cuarón to come in and get things ship shape.
Too late.
Yeah, it is too late.
Well, the difference is they actually had some decent material to work
Right.
with. Here, anybody would look at it and go, "I'm sorry, what do you want me to do with this?" It's like, you should call a janitor because this needs to be cleaned up.
Alfonso, the guy selling fake Rolexes on the corner, directors. Don't make any fucking sense. It's just I'm amazed at how every movie they cannot get any originality from any kind of director at all. And well, I don't know, man. It's like I go between like who do I hate the most in this movie? The guys who keep acting like bitches and crying. Or do I hate? Oh, I can't stand Bella, man. I can't fucking stand.
I don't know.
I think about it. I can't stand that bitch. Because look.
I'm gonna have to root for Stephanie Myers as the person I hate.
Man, no. This chick right here, she's sitting up here. She's married. She's fucking got a husband now. Before when her and Edward were just boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm like, all right, that's cool. You can keep flirting around. I'm sure you feel good. But when you get married to somebody, you like tell your friend that was that guy you flirted with all the time. You're like, hey, I got a husband now. You can't be doing all this shit. You can't be coming here touching me, especially my wedding. And no, she eats that shit up, man.
She's an attention whore.
I mean, in fact, she's sitting up there when she's dying and she needs to be by her husband. Who's sitting over there? Jacob on the couch. Jacob wants to snuggle up to her. And Edward over there just looking. Edward's the one who's going to get up and like, here, let me put this cover on you, keep it. And Jacob comes up, he's like, no, I'll do it. I'm going to talk shit to you in your own home. Sit up on your bitch.
Edward is a cuckold. He likes that. He's the one inviting Jacob to Jacob, please come be with her, come talk to her. Fuck her for me because I don't have warm blood.
Jacob's just a sore loser.
He's like, yeah, it's the worst kind of loser. The whole movie, just like, well, Bella, I guess I'm happy. You know what? Fuck both of you. That's in the whole movie. I'm like, God damn, dude, I thought you were whiny in the last movies. Now I got no sympathy. It's their wedding day. And he's like, hey, baby, what's going on?
I know. Come there dancing with it, picking off the ground. And then when Edward comes, like, fuck you guys, man.
Just like he sounds exactly like that.
He does.
Well, it's like, okay, they're married and she's got a 8th month pregnancy going on, but he still thinks he's got a shot.
Yeah.
that guy is the Rudy of the series. All right, he'll never quit.
To be fair, knowing Bella, he does have a shot. It's like the push me pull you of this. Come here, no, go away. Come here, no, go away.
That fool. He just can't give it up, man. I love when he
just
comes
hump
in.
her leg already. For
know.
be done with it.
Like really, at what point can you just like everybody? His own wolf tribe is even telling him like, man, just damn, man, you getting on my nerves now. Just let it go. It's not they're not concerned anymore. The bitch is married, man. Okay.
And that's the best part when the tribe is talking to each other, like you were saying, Leon.
I was laughing my ass off when they have all the CG wolves get together to mentally talk to each other.
It's bacon.
I know. For some reason, it sounded like they were being drowned underwater while they were talking. I was like, wait a minute, is that merman talking?
Well, you know what they did for all the CG that they put in this movie? They couldn't just make their mouths move. I mean,
you see so many movies that have done that. Babe being one of the first ones. Babe is like 15 years old, and they can't be any better than that.
No, because you said it. You like, man, this is like Milo and Otis. This is like before they had the CG technology to like make dogs and cats' mouths moves on screen.
Right.
They just communicated with their minds.
I'm sorry, if I would have seen those fucking wolves' mouths move, I would be on the fucking floor laughing my ass off, pissing myself. I'd be having my own baby on the goddamn, my own laugh out loud baby fucking coming out of my vagina.
The lol baby?
Yeah. Because I'm just like, what in the fuck just happened here? When did this turn into a goddamn Looney Tunes cartoon already?
I wish that mouse did move, because I would have loved for him to, for all of them to be like, Jacob, stay away. Come back now. What do you think, Scooby?
Was that one point where Jacob and his two pals are there kind of protecting the Cullens, and the mom comes out to give one of them, the little kid, a sandwich, and she's got those other two sandwiches. I expect her to go, come on, boy, come on, fetch, sugar, and toss it, throw it. Great.
Let's not forget that this is written by a Mormon, and maybe there's some new feminist Mormon thing going on where they're like, yeah, fuck you, we're going to get multiple husbands now. How do you like them apples?
Because that's been going on with the last movies, which seeing it here, it still was no shocker. I mean, I'm just like, yeah, this has kind of been going throughout the entire series. So I'm surprised that the three of them are going to be fucking on their honeymoon. I mean, but the thing is like, okay, maybe this is why it's the ultimate fucking girl fantasy, because a girl finally gets to have the best of both worlds.
Meanwhile, Frankenstein cries in the corner alone again.
It's all fucking ridiculous, of course, because this is not for me. The only time this movie got anywhere remotely interesting is just wondering if fucking Bella's going to die while dealing with this baby, because the way she looks, you're right. The fucking effects when she's like becoming a fucking zombie they're amazing. The way you're like, wow, I don't even give a shit, but wow, I'm curious if you're gonna fucking drop dead and like your baby's gonna fucking eat you from the inside out. I was curious about that the whole moment, so I give it some points for keeping me involved at that point when it started.
If only because you really wanted to see that baby eat its way out.
Yeah. I mean, everyone looks at this baby like it's a fucking monster. Everyone in this movie calls it a thing, except for one character where, hey, it's a baby, all right? And like,
and
fuck
like,
it isn't.
Shut up.
And meanwhile, that baby had way more personality than fucking Bella ever did. That baby even popped out the fucking stomach yet. I'm like,
I love that they like had a normal baby at first, and then for no apparent reason they switched to a CG baby.
Yeah,
and that's so clearly a CG baby.
Let's not even get into that, Tori, because I know we spoiled the shit out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it at the very end.
And the thing is that, boy, I was having flashbacks of fucking Serbian film like crazy. I'm like, I've seen this before.
I mean, I hate to keep complaining about Bella, but I hate that bitch. I mean, it's just
she's the worst heroine ever.
Yeah, what's her name again, co-host?
Your mama. That's what her name is. Yeah.
It'd be funny if you said that. You looked at Leon. Fuck you, Leon. Man, I know names.
Yeah.
I know names like motherfucker and bastard and son of a bitch.
They have my name right up your ass.
Your neighbor's got to be loving you right now.
But no, man, that girl, and I'm not trying to make a joke. It seems like every movie, things get more spun out of control. Things get more fucked up. Tensions get flared, and relationships get, go askew and get damaged. And it's all, every one of those things that happen, it ends with somebody saying, "Where's Bella?" Or, "We can't let that happen to Bella. Did Bella die?" Everybody's fucking worried about Bella. Fuck Bella, man. Let that bitch fucking die.
That's the thing. I keep waiting for somebody to say that. Fuck Bella.
If I was an immortal, I'd be like, fuck this teenage chick. Why are we all concerned with
Why
this?
is our whole family concerned with this?
I'm going to the islands because I can. Because I own them.
If I was one of those dogs, I'd be like, yeah, that's right, guys. Fuck that girl. Hey, vampires, yeah, who cares about her? And while all you guys leave, I'll go snuggle up in bed with her. Oh, you got me, Bella. I love your skinny ass.
You know what?
Yeah, she's all yours.
Let me direct this fucking movie. That movie, it would have ended with this one, because at the end of this movie, that baby would have popped out and just said, "What the fuck? Come on, y'all. God damn."
Why? It would have been black?
Who's the actor that plays her dad?
Joe.
What?
Fuck. Hey, man, that ain't important right there. He ain't a main character. Don't give me shit for that.
I just laugh with that guy because he plays it so perfectly as a dad who's just like, man, my daughter is such a fuck up, and look at what's happening. I can't stop any of this, and it's almost like it's the character, the dad, feeling that way about his daughter, But I also get the impression it's the actor who feels that way about his career.
I know.
Like,
When I'm
why am
watching
I
him
in this movie,
when I'm watching him, I don't even see what he's
Billy
supposed to be
Burke.
feeling
Billy
that way
Burke,
for.
that's right.
All I see him is saying to himself, "Why the fuck did I sign on to this stupid series? This is doing nothing for my career."
I love that guy in this movie. I actually like that character because he's the one that has expression that we all
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
Like he's going through the movie like he has a reason to really cry. You know,
Well, so do we.
yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I can relate because
Bored exasperation.
he has a look on his face like, what am I doing here?
That's funny. I have the same look sitting in the theater.
Damn, I went to acting school with Nicolas Cage. I'm better than that guy.
I'm like,
And I
wow.
do like the fact that with every one of these movies, they hire Anna Kendrick to show up for 15 minutes.
For 15
just,
minutes.
just to be shitty to everybody and then leave.
Yeah.
They should have hired. They could have hired one of us to be shitty to those people. Are you kidding me?
I mean, she's the only person who's speaking sense. Like, Bella, what the hell? What are you doing? It's funny because all the money they spent on the effects for Bella, so realistically have her just like waste away. That took a lot of money away from the budget on the werewolves,
Oh,
who looked
yeah.
like shit.
Oh yeah, those werewolves were floating. Sometimes
Yes.
I was noticing when they were running. I'm
See,
like,
yeah, you
dude.
finally get the full-on vampire werewolf fight that people have been waiting for, right? And you're like, okay, and then it's like all close-ups, and
It's
it
in
looks
the dark.
terrible. It's in the dark. You can't tell who's hitting who. It only lasts for maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah, you can make out the fights in Transformers better than these.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
I didn't mind the werewolves, and maybe it's because they were finally giving me something. I mean, the real problem with the movie is that it's a 45-minute film,
Yeah.
padded out with music videos, a soundtrack, people just wander around staring at each other, moping. That I was telling Leon in the theater, I was like, this is just an extended trailer almost for like the first hour and 15 minutes of this movie. And furthermore, everything that we're not spoiling, if you have heard about it, you probably were saying to yourself, this is outrageously interesting what they're doing with this. This sounds almost like a gore horror film. And whatever was on that page that made people so interested in what this movie's going to be about, it's just silly on the screen. I mean, it's laughable. So I look at this like what Transformers was for adolescent boys, Twilight is for adolescent girls. Can't fight it. There's something there that they see in it that I just clearly do not for the life of me at this point. And I give it a low rental for that, like as low as you can get as a rental. Because apparently the audience out there is really eating it up. Now, those girls in the movie theater they were going fucking nuts, man.
You're quite generous, I gotta say. I find these characters to be weird, and not in a David Cronenberg or shit, I forgot the other guy, David Lynch.
You forgot.
but I still managed to remember Rick Perry.
That other guy.
But yeah, not any kind of way that would be cool. The thing you said, co-hosts like talk about, the three of them getting it on the wedding night. That would never happen because that's interesting. And this movie skirts every chance to be interesting. Like you talked about the stuff that's in the book that's so outrageous that, okay, if you're out there going like, I don't know, I don't like these movies, but some of the shit I heard they're going to do, this I got to see. Well, keep on waiting because when it happens on screen, it's so pulled back, it's so off camera that it's like it might as well not even be there. This is the most sanitized kind of vampire werewolf movie you could see. I mean, and the thing is, movies that are made for young girls or even chick flicks, I've seen those. I've seen the things that are in them that can be liked, even like a low Disney Channel movie. But here, it's just really devoid of anything to keep you interested. It goes on forever. It drags things out. It's unintentionally funny. That's probably about the best thing it's got going for it, other than those special effects. I could go on, but just to give everybody else a chance, my rating for this would be the thing that Arnold Schwarzenegger would say if you told him to give it up, that it was over. Bullshit.
It's been a while since I've heard you do that one. Yeah, everything that you said, it's this film. I want to call it soap opera-ish, except it's not even as good as a soap
Exactly.
opera. At least in a soap opera, things are actually happening. This is for people who love the previous films, why I can't even begin to understand still, but who do. That is, as Corey said, a fact in nature, regardless how we feel about it. Apparently there are people who do, who have just don't care anymore about whether or not there's a story. They really want to see these two characters make moon eyes at each other for an hour and a half, which is just the point up until when something actually happens in the film. Like I said, because that's the marriage. Oh God, she's pregnant. Okay. That's like an hour and a half. That's nothing happens. And then after that, it's just this build towards, like, there's this point where they go, okay, nothing's happening, so we have to manufacture something the werewolves are pissed off about. That makes no sense given everything we've seen in the movie. They just go, well, maybe it's a monster, so we better kill it. Wait, why? Weren't you the one just arguing about being irrational and jumping to conclusions? Shut up!
Yeah. It's like, look, we got to find some way to work our way back into this picture.
Right, there's no reason for it. It doesn't make any sense. And yet the movie just goes, well, whatever, you'll buy it because you're happy to see more of Jacob like being like a stand-up guy. And like you said, it's so sanitized. By the time that stuff you've heard about that sounds crazy happens, you're like, oh, well, that was really not that big a deal. The only interesting things was stuff that I had to picture in my own head.
Yeah.
You know, this is the very definition of some old bullshit film. I give it a little bit of points where at times making me laugh because the dialogue is so horrible. It's the most horrible of any of these films in many ways. Some of the lines they actually have to say, I almost want to get the DVD just to watch the bloopers to see if they crack up laughing multiple takes. Like, you can't seriously expect me to read this with a straight face, right? Are you sure this isn't Vampires Suck 2?
A line? No, that's it. There's no more.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you guys pretty much summed it all up. I mean, I'm not going to hesitate with my review. It's some old bullshit. I was almost on the verge of rental because I was like, well, you know what? As far as like the look of the film, it's consistent. As far as the characters, they're the same fucking characters that I've just never cared for since the last movies. And I was really trying to figure out, okay, well, what really separates this from any other film besides it only having that one point interest me where Bella's dying. And I was really curious. I was like, maybe I had that whole baby thing wrong. Maybe they're going to change it up. Maybe something's going to happen. And when it happens, I'm just like, all right, you know what? Good job on the special effects. But other than that, when I walk out of here, I'm not going to give two shits about this movie. I'm still going to be kind of annoyed because the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, I'm creating a much far better film in my head watching this. And it sucks because too bad nobody can ever do a werewolf fucking vampire human story like this again because Twilight has tainted that water.
No, they can. Underworld is coming.
Bullshit. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I was trying to like maybe I'll give the director some credit trying to get something out, but it's almost like they completely reverted back to the first two movies to where I'm like, wow, you know, with that last one. There was something there which I understood why you guys gave it the good reviews that you did. Me, I still hated those characters. And this one, it's like they reverted back to the first two, and I still don't care for these characters. And it's just some bullshit to me. And I'm looking forward to this series ending quick.
I don't think we actually gave the last one a good review.
No, you did.
Gave it a tolerated review.
The thing,
we gave it like a rental, didn't we?
I would like to point out for anybody who's like, oh, well, of course you guys wouldn't like Twilight. The last one, yeah, I didn't mind it. I was wondering, like, you know what? I could watch this again. It's fine.
Look, I would have gladly had given this movie better than sex. Had that baby bust out that girl's stomach and just fuck, I'm out.
Or just murdered her, choked her to death.